In previous videos, we have learned how latitude and longitude help us determine our position anywhere on the planet Earth. And let's review the latitude. If this is the equator, latitude tells us our position north and south of the equator. And if this is the prime meridian going through London, England, longitude tells us our position west or east of the prime meridian. Now there is a tool that helps us determine our latitude and longitude anywhere we are, and this tool is called a GPS, which is short for Global Positioning System. And the GPS is composed of several components. The one most of us are familiar with is a GPS, or Global Positioning System receiver, which is like a box the size usually of a phone, a large phone, or a small portable computer. And this GPS receiver has an antenna and some electronic intelligence inside, which allows him to talk to satellites. Because the other component of the global positioning system are satellites, and in fact, the United States government has launched at least 31. This is the U.S. system, GPS. At least the United States government has launched at least 31 GPS satellites. And the satellite is a box in the sky, is a big computer box, which usually has two big panels, which are filled with solar panels, which are used to collect the energy that the satellite needs to work. So this is what the solar panel look like. And a satellite also has a big antenna, and this big antenna is always transmitting at any time messages to be received by any listening GPS receiver. And two important pieces of information that this message contains are the time the message was sent and the location in the sky of the satellite. Our GPS receiver utilizes this information, it computes this information to determine its position on the Earth, but it needs information and messages from more than one satellite to be able to determine without error its exact position on the Earth. It needs messages from at least 4 other satellites. We're going to quickly draw them here. So that's why we have at least 31 GPS satellites in the sky at any time. In order for any GPS receiver around the world to be able to be in visual connection with the satellites up in the sky. Now, anybody around the Earth who has a GPS receiver can talk to the American GPS satellites. Still, the United States government could, in case of war or conflicts with other countries, decide to turn off the access to these signals and encrypt them in different ways so regular people cannot interpret them anymore. For this reason, other countries have decided to implement their own global positioning systems. For example, Russia has launched satellites, and their GPS system is called GLONASS. Russia now has 31 GLONASS satellites, which allow to determine their position, to allow GPS receiver to determine their position. Similarly, China is doing the same thing. China started to launch GPS satellites and is calling them Compass. The system is called Compass. At this point, there are only about 7 or 8 Compass satellites up in the sky, and for this reason, the coverage of the Compass global positioning system, it's only China and neighboring countries. And finally, the European Union has also started a global positioning system project, and this project is called Galileo. They have not launched any satellite yet, but this program is in development, and there will soon be satellites also for the European Union out there. So lots of satellites rotating around the Earth to help us determine our position.